look at it as surviving, adapting, and thriving. It's the pre-disaster, it's the pre-shock and stress work that's so important to our definition of resilience. And because it's systemic, that means a family or an individual, it means a block, a community, businesses, the government itself. Because in a lot of shock type disasters, and even in the slower burning version of a pandemic, you might actually have cascading effects that aren't so sudden, and it kind of is a slow burn. And so for us, the definition must always include all the way through surviving, adapting into thriving, and it must include the combination of shocks and stresses. I should also say that our definition and the way that I work, especially in a lot of the low to moderate income communities or global south, or where it's really, really in the combination of shocks and stresses, is we want to lead with equity. We want to be sure that equitable resilience is at the forefront of the conversations we're having. And in many cases, as most of you probably know, if you're not supporting certain individuals or certain businesses or housing, and something bad happens, it's even worse, because that stress was already there, that lack of support was already there. So I think resilience for me, and the way that it runs into impact investing and the impact economy, means that you can't do it for just one sector. It can't be completely isolated from the other potential co-benefits and the kinds of returns on resilience that we hope to see. And as an impact investor, funder, whether it's equity, debt, or even a grant maker, if you're looking at a community that's preparing and you're able to go a little bit further in terms of what the impact will be if things don't go wrong, and this is a difficult conversation. Humans do not like to pay for things or prepare for things so they don't happen. It's often and communities don't, and governments don't. And so a lot of my work is to get us into the Precovery mindset, into the resilience building before something goes sideways. And especially if it's going to go sideways in a place that's already been heavily impacted. So I'll kind of wrap up with saying that if we can move resilience into kind of its ecological formation sort of origins, which is that there's a kind of natural system there, and we don't interrupt that system, which means we have to try really hard to fix the things ahead of time that could potentially go wrong. And so for me, it's very much about the Precovery. It's very much about setting things up ahead of time. And in most of the cities and places that I work, that's the work of the strategies. That's the work of building out the project.